Hello, welcome to our Data Safeguards LinkedIn and YouTube Live. Today, with me, my colleague, my friend Anjan Kumar Panda. Welcome, Anjan.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, Damodar. Happy to be here.
Thank you. I'm Damodar Sahu. Thank you, Anjan, for joining in. Today, we are touching upon a different topic. We call it ECC, empathy, culture, and company. We are building a culture of engagements. Hello, India. India is celebrating Raksha Bandhan, Onam. In US, schools are kids are back to school. Schools are open, and we are heading a long weekend, Labor Day, coming up next. Those who have joined our session recently, we are from Data Safeguard. We are an AI empowered SaaS startup in data privacy, synthetic fraud, and risk compliance company. Recently, we were in the top 14 Silicon Valley startups 2023. We are in the ninth position among the top 50 thought leading companies on artificial intelligence 2023 by Thinkers 360. Our flagship product, ID Redact, is live on Azure Marketplace. We had a press release yesterday, but above all, we are a people company. Anjan, you have joined Data Safeguard recently. May we know why did you join Data Safeguard?
Um, yeah, thanks for asking that. So I had my conversations with Sudhir a while back. I realized from the conversations that the team, Sudhir and the team, and the data safeguard, they deal with a very fundamental aspect of the technology progress. That's about the identity. They are safeguarding identity by data, and it is happening amidst the data deduce using artificial intelligence as a tool. So I realized that data safeguard uh, and so they're like, I think they care a lot about the community culture way of doing things. That's my forte.
Yeah,
So I believed that they are keeping people at the center of its scale, and I really believed that is right, and hence I choose to be a part of data safeguard and joined in. So it was a story of community building is what brought me in. Damodar, how about you? What made you join data safeguard?
great question. Yeah, Anjan, we are friends for almost 5 years. I was in Bay Area, East Bay. We all well connected, and yeah, well said. You are a community builder, and you are building. We are building, right? And our previous association was with, let's say, ODIs in machine learning. I mean, still we have association that is for not for profit. And the answer which I want to give, it was never planned that I will join Data Safeguard. And I was in my comfort zone in a corporate life for many years. And in fact, I never planned to be in US, it just happened, I always uh, feel lucky. I always went with the flow. Even if you see my career graph, starting from 1996 to till today, touch wood, I never joined any competitors. But it doesn't mean that it is planned. No, it was never planned. Like you said, it is Sudhir's very insightful, intelligent conversations let me decide instantly to join Data Safeguard. I was in conversation with Sudhir last May, June. Then one day suddenly, this conversation has led, hey, what is next? And you are in comfort zone. Then I said, Sudhir, yes, I understand that I'm in comfort zone. And we all know that you can't grow in comfort zone. Growth is in risk zone, Unless until you come into a risk zone and come out of the risk zone, then there is a sky's the limit, right? So I instantly said, Sudhir, yes, I'm in. And the product we are building and the market we have, it's a huge, on data privacy, right? We always say that let address the privacy at source, the security comes later, right? So that's why I'm here, so let's grow. In fact, we are growing day by day and creating milestone, and we are celebrating each and every milestone. Thank you, Anjan. Can I ask you another question, Anjan?
Oh, absolutely.
What is empathy? You can give example empathy at work, empathy outside work, right?
Yeah, that's so great a question. Like, what is empathy? I think empathy is the base of every individual identity, and the interactions an individual makes with the world is very closely associated with the empathy. Maybe we can say empathy is a part of the signature signature of an identity. And another extension of this is it leads to culture. It's an element of emotional intelligence at a higher state.
Yeah,
um, I believe when empathy is harnessed and channeled well, it would lead to right forms of social intelligence in societal structure like the company that we are building right now. So once the right kind of culture is built, the success becomes an automatic output. So empathy is the is an emotional construct, I would say. Like, if you
yeah,
ask me to define it computationally, that would be a hard question to answer. However, empathy is like, if uh, we are in a context, and can we recognize another human being in the context, what
yeah,
that person feels about it. And as I'm talking of success, how is feel of success looking like? That would be empathy. One way to look at empathy. The another way to look at empathy is, can I empathize with my customer? The the idea of the customer to be secure, how
yeah,
can I feel that, and can I build the solutions for that customer? That is another way of looking at company, looking at the empathy part of the company,
yeah,
right? So I'll come back to the fundamental part, where which I think empathy is a higher state of emotional construct. When harnessed and channeled well,
yeah.
it will build the right kind of culture, right kind of organizational culture. Damodar, what do you
Great,
think about it?
great. Yeah, so let me give my two cents, right? I always believe giving is receiving. And empathy enables people to get on with others. Let's say we are having conversation. Let's say we are strangers, right? So I said, giving is receiving. If I start giving, then I will start receiving. Not vice versa. This is my belief. And the ability, especially at workplace, the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. Rightly you said, right? It can be with your colleagues, your co-worker, your colleagues at different work zone, different country, different religion, and different time zones. So it is the least experience, I feel. It is found least experience among politicians, but mostly the empathy is in our family members, right? But the moment you will go from family to society to your state, country, outside country, workplace, corporate, big corporate, right? I mean, it's a mixture of empathy. But if you see empathy in the workplace, if I can define in my own word, the ability to be understanding towards the colleagues and sensitive to their unique perspective. It can be your belief, religion belief, it can be your food style, your work style, your ideas. But as a whole, uh, rightly you say, it's a component of emotional intelligence, and empathy is the foundation of treating others with acceptance and compassion. Like we see, if you want to get treated yourself, I have to put myself in your shoe and see how you're feeling, right? So same thing. I mean, again, if I put it in one sentence, it's giving is receiving. In the way I give, the similar way I will receive it, right? But yeah, importance of empathy at workplace. Though we talk about corporate, government, state, federal, politics, and I mean how the world is moving, right? Work zone, conflict zone, right? I call it, it's a unrest world. Even if it's an unrest world, you have to show strong, sensitive, and be happy. Even the world is unrest, right? So yeah, net, empathy at workplace is very essential. And as I told you, we are building a people's company, right? So establishing a rapport with your colleagues, with your partner, with your analysts, with your investors, right? Any third party partner or vendor, whatever you call it, right? And showing a reasonable concern and support your colleagues in a very possible to help them perform and grow, right? We are talking about growth, right? So we all are responsible, for the growth factor and the culture. And of course, we will come to the culture. My question coming to you next, culture I will ask you. But yeah, whatever you do, it should reflect listening by paraphrasing, and we should always avoid quick judgment. People are judgmental. So I also say just avoid quick judgment. Take time. Try to judge the people systematically, intelligently, right? Emotionally, sometimes also, right? So yeah, my next question to you, Anjan, what is culture?
Wow, we are speaking of empathy, and then we are speaking of culture. So I would say let's that brings in a continuity
Yeah,
between
yeah,
empathy that we saw in our context, and then what is the output when we show empathy towards our colleagues, towards our friends, towards our family. When we actually show empathy and act in the empathy, the output of that, a collective output of that, may be considered as culture. I would say, I would say it's an extension. It's a symptom. So a culture is a symptom of how empathetically people are actually interacting with each other. I said people, I said interaction, and I'm taking up empathetic interactions, which is deriving to a culture in the context of a societal unit, and an organization is a societal unit. So I would say culture is everywhere. um, from the success, it is a key element, right? Quite funny that when we I'm my mind takes me to the large transformation programs, and some large transformation program we actively consider culture and then make strategic decisions based on what is the culture involved, and why some of the decisions will work versus some of the decisions will not. So an extension of that would be would a culture normally operates in a spectrum. Like today is Raksha Bandhan, right? We have a
yeah,
culture around safety. In India, we call it Raksha Bandhan. If we look at it in a bigger context, what happens is that that ritual Raksha Bandhan itself represents safety, resulting from brother sister bonding. Probably it's an element of Indian society that has originated in the medieval history, where the feminine security was a function of
yeah,
masculine association of a brother, right? So we see culture in a spectrum, right? And now the interesting part of is every individual can be part of the culture and grow the cultural aspect of the societal entity in which they operate in a
yeah,
continuous feedback loop, right? That's a organic part of it, right? So the way an individual conducts itself inside an organization, inside that social unit, empathetically, I think that would reflect the culture. Probably I may say culture is a dress and a societal unit wears, right? Whether it's an individual or a society or a company that we are building right now. I believe it would be a core element of
absolutely, absolutely.
any company.
Absolutely. If I add Anjan further, I mean, work culture, rightly said, is a collection of attitude, beliefs, behaviors, right? That make up the regular atmosphere in any work environment. We call it healthy workplace. So what is healthy workplace? Healthy workplace cultures align employees' behavior, and of course, you have to be led by your company policy. With the overall goals of the company should be grow, grow, grow. I mean, grow for not only for the stakeholder or the leadership, grow all. I mean, partner your employee, your third party contract employee, your partners, everybody, right? So
Mhm.
while considering the well-being of all individual, if I can put it very simple way, a positive work culture is the one that should be prioritized by every company, and it offers support at all level, within the organization, outside the organization. Of course, we have to have policy binding company. So that is what I said. We are actually building a culture of respect, trust, empathy, and support. So we are building a culture of engagements. Yeah.
Mhm.
And maybe uh, I should ask you the last one, ECC, and last C stands for company. Talk about a little bit on that.
We I think I I actually loved the sequence in which you framed it, because one is leading to the other. Empathy led to the culture, and from culture we're leading to the company, and we're talking in a broad spectrum while basing ourselves in this conversation. So I I'm really liking that aspect, and I would like to listen from you as well.
Sure.
But the company, from a cultural aspect, the company culture means a lot from from the success we make together, including every stakeholder. Right?
Absolutely.
Let's frame it from the point of individuality, because we're talking of individual people, their empathy leading to the um, culture aspect of a company. So a company is an extension of individuals operating it, right? Producing value in an economic context. So a group of individuals operating together in a culture, building in an economic context, right? A company, a business entity is has an economic context. So extension of individuals, and here in valley, like it's an entrepreneurial movement upwards in the value chain. I believe Silicon Valley has a unique aspect to this
Yeah.
culture. It handles it well. In some part of the world it is handled differently, but it is moving up the entrepreneurial value chain. Is what building company with a culture looks like. uh, I I would want to probably bring in how at data safeguard our culture is framed by a, we are telling of empathy. So empathetic engagements, I mean, as you would have noticed, with our stakeholders,
Yeah.
employees, partners, colleagues, investors, and customer, empathetic engagement is every engagement at data safeguard, right? It frames our culture. Every engagement counts, and every engagement leads towards that value chain that is building our success. I think as you were emphasizing that we are a people company, and people work with empathy, and empathetic engagements leads to the culture, and that culture builds our company, right? Having said that, I would probably request you to bring in your elements, your thoughts into it.
No, well said, Anjan. So if I put it only two lines, I think those are the company, those are actually good companies. They have the leaders, though are decisive when it comes to steering the organization's course of culture. And they know, like you mentioned, Sudhir, our founder CEO, he know how to build a strong relationship and provide open communication with their employees, and they motivate their team and hold everyone to the highest standard of responsibility and accountability. If we all feel empowered, with this standard, high standard of responsibility and accountability, then this role, I mean, the company will roll over and over, right? That is what we are building, data safeguard. a people company, and we are building a culture of engagement, not only with internal employee, but also external. If you see last week, we talk about CCE, Cognizable Computing Engine. That is our foundation platform where we are building our products like ID Redact, ID Mask, and few other products lineup like ID AML, ID Fraud, and so on, right? And CCE to ECC. Yeah. So I think I'm super excited to be here, and I'm sure Anjan, you too as well. And I want to understand from you your concluding remarks on the ECC.
The concluding remarks, I would concur. I would agree with you that yes, we are a people company. Our success is made out of empathy, which leads into our culture, and that culture is shaping our company as we organically grow up, as we organically scale very fast into the
Super.
future.
Super, super, super. We are almost 21 minutes. I don't know, time flies. And thank you, Anjan, for your insightful, intelligent remarks on empathy, culture, and company. And thank you, audience, for your patient listening. And next episode, we have a plan to come with our another product called ID Mask and SOC 2, SOC 3, and of course, we will invite our thought leaders, both internal and external. Please stay tuned. And yeah, I'm sure you must have liked this ECC, building a culture of engagements. And yeah, we are looking for partners, basically referral partner, resell partner, co-sell, system integrator, to promote and our product on data privacy, synthetic fraud, risk compliance. If you have a bouquet of customers, you can quickly take our product to your customer, and let's build an engagement and culture of uh, what do you call engagements with our customers as well, right? And thank you, Anjan, once again, and thank you, audience, and see you again.
Thank you all.
Yeah,
Thank you.
till then, take care. Bye bye.